more than this. Tell me, can you handle it? Around and let me see that sexy body go bum, bum, bum.
The B2K name conjures images of youthful energy, catchy tunes, and heartthrob status. But behind the glitz and glamour of this iconic R&B group, a darker story has been quietly unfolding. But what happened behind the scenes? Join us as we delve into the shadows and uncover the disturbing truths that B2K has desperately tried to hide for a decade. How it began. B2K, Boys of the New Millennium, was an American boy band that became a prominent figure in the early 2000s R&B and pop scene. The group was originally formed in 1998 and consisted of 4 members: Jarrell, J. Boog, Houston Sr., Demario Raz, B. Thornton, Drew Pierre Lil Fizz Frederick, and Omarion Granberry. B2K's rise to fame was a combination of their musical talent, charismatic performances, and the growing influence of boy bands during that era. The origins of B2K trace back to a different group called Melodic, which included J. Boog, Raz B, and Lil Fizz. As young teenagers, they were trying to break into the music industry, a dream shared by many during the late 1990s, a period dominated by boy bands like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. In 1999, on New Year's Eve, Omari Granberry, who would later be known as Omarion, was invited to join the group. His addition proved to be a pivotal moment, as Omarion's vocals and stage presence would become central to B2K's success. After Omarion joined, the group adopted the name B2K, an acronym for Boys of the New Millennium. This name was not just a reflection of the era they were entering, the new millennium, but also a declaration of their identity as the next big thing in music. They were seen as a fresh and youthful representation of R&B, tailored for the new generation. B2K's debut single, was released in 2001 and marked the beginning of their rapid ascent to stardom. The song, produced by Tricky Stewart, was an upbeat and infectious track that quickly captured the attention of the music industry and fans alike. Showcased the group's youthful energy, smooth vocals, and choreographed dance moves, all of which became trademarks of their style. Following the success of B2K released their self-titled debut album, B2K, in 2002. The album was a commercial success, peaking at number 2 on the Billboard 200 chart, a significant achievement for a debut album by a relatively new group. The album included other popular singles like Gots to Be and Why I Love You, both of which further solidified their place in the music industry. The album's success was underscored by its certification as gold, signifying over 500,000 copies sold. The group's appeal was not just limited to their music. Their image played a crucial role in their popularity. B2K was known for its coordinated outfits, boyish charm, and ability to connect with its predominantly teenage audience. They were regularly featured in teen magazines, and their posters adorned the walls of countless fans. B2K's sophomore album, Pandemonium, was released later in 2002, further building on the momentum they had gained. The album debuted at number 10 on the Billboard 200 and showcased the group's growth both musically and personally. The lead single, Bump Bump Bump, featuring and produced by P. Diddy, became their biggest hit, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. This track was a more mature and polished effort, blending R&B with hip-hop influences, and it highlighted the group's ability to evolve while maintaining their appeal. Pandemonium also included other notable tracks like Girlfriend and What a Girl Wants, both of which were well received by fans and critics alike. The album's success was a testament to B2K's growing influence in the music industry, and it solidified their status as one of the top boy bands of the early 2000s. In 2003, B2K was riding high on the wave of success that had carried them to the top of the music charts. Their meteoric rise was underscored by winning a Kids' Choice Award for Favorite Singing Group. a testament to their immense popularity among young fans. The group was at the pinnacle of their career, with hit albums, sold-out tours, and a dedicated fan base. However, behind the scenes, a much darker story was unfolding, one that would ultimately lead to the group's shocking disbandment and a series of disturbing revelations that would shake their fans and the music industry. As B2K's star continued to rise, so too did tensions behind the scenes. Rumors began to circulate about financial disputes and internal conflicts within the group. Despite their outward success, the members of B2K were reportedly dissatisfied with how their earnings were being handled. These tensions were exacerbated by claims of mismanagement and unfair profit splits. In interviews and discussions, the members of B2K began to express their frustrations with the financial arrangements. According to their accounts, the group had spent months on the road touring, generating significant revenue through ticket sales, merchandise, and endorsements. However, despite their grueling schedule and the apparent success of their tours, the members claimed that they had seen little to none of the profits. Jay Book, one of the group members, famously stated, "We did 3 months of touring. In total, we did 6 months of touring and didn't receive 1% of a penny." This statement highlighted the deep dissatisfaction within the group and suggested that something was seriously amiss with their financial management. At the center of these financial disputes and rumors of mismanagement was Chris Stokes, B2K's manager. Stokes had been instrumental in the formation and success of the group. He was a seasoned music executive with a reputation for discovering and managing young talent, and B2K was one of his biggest success stories. However, as the group's career progressed, Stokes found himself at the center of controversy. The whispers and rumors surrounding Stokes were as alarming as they were persistent. It was alleged that Stokes had not only mismanaged the group's finances, but had also exploited their trust and innocence. The members of B2K were young when they first entered the industry, and it was suggested that Stokes had taken advantage of their inexperience. These allegations, though initially just whispers in the industry, began to gain traction as the group members started to speak out. The situation took a dramatic turn in 2004 when Demario Raz B. Thornton, one of B2K's members, came forward with explosive allegations against Chris Stokes. In a series of statements and interviews, Raz B. claimed that Stokes had engaged in inappropriate behavior toward him and other members of the group. These accusations were shocking and sent ripples through the music industry. Raz B. alleged that Stokes had inappropriately touched him and engaged in other forms of mistreatment during the time he managed the group. These claims were not only deeply disturbing, but also represented a profound betrayal of the trust that the young stars had placed in their manager. Raz B's allegations painted a picture of a toxic environment where exploitation and manipulation were rampant, and where the well-being of the group members was compromised. The fallout from Raz B's accusations was swift and far-reaching. The allegations not only led to a public outcry, but also hastened the disbandment of B2K Chris Stokes, for his part, vehemently denied the accusations made by Raz B. He dismissed the claims as false and unfounded, and he maintained his. Adding to the tension, Omarion, who had always been positioned as the group's lead singer and frontman, became a source of contention. Lil Fizz, J Boog, and Raz B began to feel increasingly sidelined, perceiving that Omarion was being given preferential treatment and more opportunities to shine. This sentiment brewed resentment among the trio, who felt like they were being relegated to mere backup dancers in what was becoming the Omarion show. The tension between Omarion and the rest of the group was palpable. While Omarion was often praised for his smooth vocals and charismatic stage presence, the other members felt that their contributions were being overshadowed. Lil Fizz, in particular, was vocal about his frustrations, expressing that he, J Boog, and Raz B deserved more recognition for their roles in the group. The feeling of being marginalized created a rift that would only widen as time went on. In 2004, around the time the group was dealing with these internal conflicts, they also filmed and released the movie You Got Served. The film, which centered around street dance battles, was a commercial success and featured all 4 members of B2K You Got Served, became a cultural phenomenon, particularly among fans of the group, and its success further cemented B2K's place in pop culture. However, even as the group enjoyed this success on screen, their off-screen relationship was deteriorating. Shortly after the release of You Got Served, B2K's manager, Chris Stokes, announced that the group was splitting up. The official reason given for the breakup was internal disagreements, a vague explanation that did little to quell the rumors and speculation about what had caused the group to implode. The announcement was a blow to fans, who had hoped that the group would continue making music together. In the wake of the breakup, Lil Fizz, J Boog, and Raz B issued a joint statement confirming the end of their professional relationship with Stokes. The trio also made it clear that they felt they had been mistreated, stating that they just wanted to be treated fairly. This statement was a clear indication that the group members believed they had not been given their due during their time with B2K, and it added fuel to the fire of rumors about financial mismanagement and exploitation. The breakup of B2K was a significant moment in the music industry, marking the end of one of the most popular boy bands of the early 2000s. While the members would go on to pursue solo careers, none would achieve the same level of success they had enjoyed as part of B2K. Omarion, in particular, found some success as a solo artist, releasing several albums and singles. But the shadow of B2K and the controversy surrounding the group's breakup would continue to loom over him and the other members. Solo ventures. Under the guidance of Chris Stokes, Omarion's first solo album, O, was released in 2005 and debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart. The album featured hit singles like O and Touch, both of which showcased Omarion's smooth vocals and dance abilities. O was eventually certified gold, solidifying his status as a solo artist. In 2006, Omarion released his second album, 21, which also enjoyed commercial success. The lead single, Icebox, became one of his most successful tracks, reaching the top 20 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song's production, handled by Timbaland, was praised for its innovative sound, and the music video further highlighted Omarion's skills as a dancer. 21 continued to build on the momentum of Omarion's solo career, earning him accolades and solidifying his place in the music industry. Omarion's collaboration with rapper Bow Wow in 2007 resulted in the album Face Off. The album was a commercial success, debuting at #11 on the Billboard 200. The chemistry between the two artists was evident, and they scored hits with singles like Girlfriend and Hey Baby, Jump Off. Face Off allowed Omarion to expand his fan base and further establish himself as a versatile artist capable of both singing and rapping. While Omarion pursued his solo career, Lil Fizz explored opportunities in both music and acting. From 2005 to 2007, he guest starred on Fox's comedy series The War at Home, which aired for 2 seasons. His role on the show allowed him to showcase his comedic talents and gain experience in the acting world. Although the show was short-lived, it marked a significant shift in Fizz's career as he began to diversify his talents beyond music. In 2009, Lil Fizz reunited with fellow B2K member J Boog to release the 5-track EP Nightlife. The project was a return to music for both artists, and while it did not achieve the commercial success of their previous work with B2K, it demonstrated their commitment to continuing their careers in the industry. The EP allowed Fizz and Book to explore new sounds and further develop their artistic identities. Raz B's post B2K career was marked by both controversy and a significant geographical move. After a series of public disputes and controversies, Raz B relocated to China, where he sought to restart his career on his terms. This move was not only a fresh start for Raz B, but also a strategic decision to distance himself from the drama that had plagued his life in the United States. In China, Raz B pursued a solo career and became an entrepreneur, launching his record label. His time overseas allowed him to reinvent himself, both as an artist and a businessman. While Raz B's career in China did not reach the heights of his time with B2K, it demonstrated his resilience and determination to carve out a new path for himself. His experience as a manager and label owner also reflected his desire to take control of his career and provide opportunities for other artists. J-Boog, who had always been a quieter member of B2K, focused on collaborations and behind-the-scenes work after the group's breakup. In 2009, he collaborated with Lil Fizz on the Nightlife EP, marking his return to music. However, J-Boog's most significant post-B2K work came in the film industry. J-Boog partnered with IMX member and relative Marquez Houston, becoming a writer, producer, and vice president for Houston's film production company, Footage Films. This collaboration allowed J-Boog to transition into a new phase of his career, where he could utilize his creativity and industry experience in a different medium. His work with Footage Films involved producing and writing for various projects, and it showcased his ability to adapt to new roles within the entertainment industry. In 2014, Omarion and Lil Fizz both became main cast members on VH1's reality show, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. The show provided a platform for both artists to showcase their private lives and relationships, allowing fans to see a more personal side of the former B2K members. Omarion's storyline focused on his relationship with his then-girlfriend April Jones and the birth of their child, while Fizz's storyline revolved around his dating life and co-parenting challenges. Omarion's time on the show was relatively short-lived, as he left after 2 seasons to focus on his personal life. However, Lil Fizz remained a supporting cast member for the remainder of the show's seasons, where his personal life and attempts to revitalize his music career continued to be explored. During the show's run in 2017, J-Boog made a guest appearance as Fizz attempted to reunite B2K. However, Omarion was notably absent from these discussions, leading to speculation about whether the group could ever truly come back together. Fizz even floated the idea of bringing in longtime friend and co-star Ray J as a replacement for Omarion. This idea, however, was met with resistance. Ray J's ego and his ambitions caused tension between him and J-Boog, ultimately derailing any potential plans for a B2K reunion at that time. The attempt to reunite the group brought to light the deep-seated issues that still existed among the former members, and it became clear that any reunion would need to happen in a way that honored their history and allowed them to move forward without repeating past mistakes. On December 31st, 2018, group managers Michelle LaFleur and Damour H. Lethbridge announced that B2K would reunite for a tour in 2019. After 15 years of individual pursuits and unresolved tensions, the group's return to the stage was both highly anticipated by fans and fraught with the drama that had always seemed to follow them. The tour, titled the Millennium Tour, was scheduled to take place over 3 months, spanning March, April, and May 2019, with dates and locations released through the G Squared Events website. The tour was not just a reunion for B2K, but a celebration of mid-2000s urban music, featuring a lineup of artists who had dominated the charts during that era. Alongside B2K, the tour included performances by Pretty Ricky, Chingy, Yin Yang, Twins, Mario, Bobby V, and Lloyd. These artists, like B2K, had been central to the sound of early 2000 R&B and hip-hop, and their inclusion added to the tour's appeal as a nostalgic experience for fans who had grown up with their music. One of the standout moments of the tour occurred during the New York City show at Madison Square Garden, where Ashanti made a surprise appearance. She joined Lloyd on stage to perform their hit single Southside, much to the delight of the audience. This surprise was one of many that kept fans engaged and excited throughout the tour. as it brought together some of the biggest names of the era for a night of unforgettable performances. While the reunion and tour were a dream come true for many fans, they also exposed the lingering issues within the group, particularly for Raz B. Throughout the tour, Raz B was involved in several incidents that highlighted his ongoing struggles with the group's history and his battles. Raz B's return to the public eye came with an added layer of scrutiny, as it was announced that he would join the cast of VH1's Love and Hip Hop, Hollywood, to chronicle his life experiences while on tour. This decision was intended to give fans a behind-the-scenes look at the dynamics within B2K and Raz B's journey. However, this project was ultimately postponed indefinitely due to the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, leaving much of what happened during the tour undocumented in the way it was originally planned. One of the most significant and troubling incidents occurred in the early weeks of the tour when Raz B took to Instagram to express his discomfort and unease. In a video post, he mentioned that he might withdraw from the tour because he felt unsafe and uncomfortable, specifically due to the possibility that their former manager, Chris Stokes, might be in the group's presence during the tour. These concerns were deeply rooted in the allegations Raz B had previously made against Stokes, accusing him of inappropriate behavior during their time together in B2K. Hours after Raz B's post, the group released a statement indicating that he would remain on the tour and that they were committed to supporting their bandmates' mental well-being. This statement was intended to reassure fans and demonstrate unity within the group, but it also underscored the tension and unresolved issues that continued to affect Raz B. The struggles did not end there for Raz B. During the Nashville, Tennessee stop of the tour, he walked off stage in the middle of a performance. Afterward, he once again took to Instagram to express his frustration and disappointment. Raz B expressed his deep frustration, describing how the tour, which had once been a dream for him, had turned into a difficult and isolating experience. He felt like the spirit of the group, yet also felt completely alone, unappreciated, and misunderstood by his fellow members. He acknowledged the support he received from Omarion, but felt distance from everyone else, leading him to withdraw from interactions. His dissatisfaction extended beyond personal issues, as he was also unhappy with the group's performance set, particularly the opening sequence, which he strongly disliked. This dissatisfaction with both the personal and creative aspects of the tour further complicated the dynamics within the group. Despite the drama surrounding Raz B, the Millennium Tour was largely a success from a commercial standpoint. Fans flocked to see B2K and the other artists perform, and the tour served as a reminder of the group's significant impact on the early 2000 music scene. The reunion allowed fans to relive the excitement of B2K's heyday and introduced a new generation to their music. In the end, the Millennium Tour was a bittersweet chapter in the story of B2K. It brought the group back together and allowed them to connect with their fans once again, but it also revealed the deep-seated issues that had never truly been resolved. For Raz B, in particular, the tour was a reminder of the pain and trauma he had experienced, and it underscored the challenges of returning to a group that had caused him so much distress. In late April 2019, Raz B found himself in the spotlight for troubling reasons when he was arrested in Minneapolis, following reports of domestic violence involving his actress girlfriend. It was alleged that Raz B had physically mistreated her outside a Macy's store. Despite the seriousness of the accusations, the county attorney's office ultimately decided not to prosecute him, citing a lack of sufficient evidence. This incident added to the growing tensions surrounding Raz B during B2K's Millennium Tour, and it was noted that the producers and camera crew of Love and Hip Hop, the reality show Raz B had joined, were not present during this event. In early May 2019, Raz B made headlines again, this time for an incident during a 27-minute Lyft ride in Jacksonville, Florida. After falling asleep during the ride, Raz B exited the vehicle in a half-awake state, accidentally leaving behind a $2,500 Louis Vuitton bag. He later contacted the driver, but when the driver hung up on him, Raz B publicly claimed that the driver was refusing to return the bag. Despite these allegations, the driver did indeed return the bag by dropping it off at a secure location. This incident, while less severe than the previous one, further highlighted the personal and professional challenges Raz B was facing during the tour. On May 10th, 2019, just a few days after the Lyft incident, B2K announced that Raz B would be taking a break from the Millennium Tour to focus on his health and well-being. The group expressed their support for Raz B's decision, acknowledging the importance of self-care and hoping for his eventual return. However, Raz B did not rejoin the tour, marking a significant turning point in the group's reunion. In 2021, Omarion, who had continued to build his solo career while remaining connected to B2K's legacy, addressed the ongoing issues with his bandmates in an interview with the New York Post. He reflected on the group's dynamics, stating that he had matured since their initial rise to fame, and noted a lack of communication and lack of knowledge within the group. His comments suggested that unresolved conflicts and misunderstandings had contributed to the group's struggles, both during their original run and their later reunion. On June 23, 2022, Omarion participated in a Versus battle, a popular music competition series where he seemingly referred to his former bandmates as glorified backup dancers. This remark did not sit well with J Boog, who responded negatively, highlighting the ongoing rift between Omarion and the rest of the group. Shortly after this event, Omarion announced the release of his 5-part docuseries titled Omega: The Gift and the Curse. In the docuseries, Omarion finally addressed the various issues that had plagued the 2019 Millennium Tour, including the group's downfall and the personal drama, such as Lil Fizz's controversial relationship with the mother of Omarion's children. As tensions continued to simmer, J Boog, Raz B, and Lil Fizz appeared together as a trio on the Revolt Series Drink Champs on September 3, 2022. During the interview, they discussed their side of the turmoil, offering a perspective that contrasted with Omarion's narrative. Their appearance on the show indicated that while the group might have been fractured, the remaining members were still united in sharing their truth. Despite the ups and downs, B2K's legacy as a group remained strong. On July 31st, 2024, the original members of B2K reunited on stage at a concert held by Jhené Aiko in Los Angeles, California. The reunion was a significant moment for fans, signaling that, despite all the drama and challenges, the bond between the members of B2K endured, if only for a moment on stage. Outro. What do you think of the group's internal rifts? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you like this video? Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more entertaining videos. And do not forget to explore our other videos for more interesting stories and insights.